Hey, what is up guys? Card Shuffler 99 here, and today Robert's got an awesome little card trick to show you guys. If you guys aren't subscribed, be sure to check us out, and without wasting any time, let's get straight into the trick.
So Adam, go ahead and cut the deck. Credit for this trick will be in the description.
Okay.
Check out our Instagram, cardshuffler_99. Twitter's cardshuffler99. Adam, what I want you to do, go ahead and select a card.
Okay.
Any card you would like. I'm going to get out of the screen real quick, turn around, and let me know when you are okay.
We're good.
Okay, go ahead. You can place your card right there.
Okay.
And we'll just close it up like that. We're going to set this aside. I don't want to touch it, so you can put it wherever you would like.
Okay.
Just try to keep it in the screen.
And yeah, guys, the spectator can actually take this and sit on it or whatever they want to do.
Okay, and Adam, I want you to take this pile right here.
All right.
And I want you to deal down cards.
Okay.
All right, and stop whenever you would like, okay?
Perfect. Right there.
Okay, perfect. This card, I guarantee, will signify exactly what your card is in this pile. Go ahead,
Okay.
flip it over. An 8.
8. Okay.
Now, I just want to show you. You could have stopped at that card. Could have stopped at that card. You even could have stopped at that card. You could have stopped at any of these cards. But
And I did, for sure, 100%. I stopped where
you
I
stopped
wanted
whenever you would like. So go ahead, see how you did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the 8th card. Go ahead. Check it out.
to. That is my card.
The Queen of Spades. Okay, so guys, let's learn how this trick is done. So, there is a setup for this trick, and it's pretty simple. You need to get all of the 7 and 8s out of the deck. So,
Now, you can use any cards, like you could use 6s and 7s. You could use like 8 and 9. It doesn't really matter. We just like to pick 7s and 8s because they're not too big, but they're not too small either.
they're right in the middle, as you would say.
I guess 6 and 7s are a little closer, but I think the higher it is, the better it is in some ways, and you'll kind of see why as the trick goes on.
Okay, so take all your 8s and 7s. All right, and what you're going to do for the setup is you're going to take random card. You're going to put one after another. All right, so you're going to place down one card, and then you're going to place down a 7. Now, before you even do this, actually, put the 7 and 8s in alternating order. So 8, 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8. You know. So first do that, and then just take the rest of the deck, put it face up. You're going to put a random card, then you're going to put a 7. Then you'll
It
put a
doesn't
random
matter.
card.
You could put a 7 or an 8 down first.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. And then you're going to place a random card. And basically, you go through, and this is how you set it up.
So you're basically going random card, 7 or 8, random card, 7 or 8, until you're out of 7 and 8s.
And then you... Oh, almost lost some cards there. Square it up like that. And that will be your setup. And you're going to place the setup on the top of the deck. So you have all of your 7 and 8s right on the top of the deck like that. So, from here, what you're going to do is you're going to have the spectator cut the deck in half. All right?
Right. So basically, now that you guys have these 7s and 8s set up in the deck, they need to stop in the top 16 cards because what you're using is a method to actually force a 6 or a 7.
Or a 7 or 8.
Basically, or yeah, 7 or an 8. So basically what's happening is they need to stop you when they're dealing down cards. They need to stop you in the top 16 cards, right? Now, most people will not go beyond 16 cards, but if you are afraid of your spectator going a little too far, highly recommend what you guys do instead of having them freely cut, okay, wherever they want, you actually just dribble the deck and ask them to stop. Now, you truly can stop wherever. It doesn't matter. But if you are really concerned that they're not going to stop in the top 16 cards, you can limit the amount of cards in the top packet. That way, instead of them cutting, like that, where this packet has so many cards and they have, they can stop really anywhere here instead of the top 16 cards. So if you really wanted to, if you guys are a little nervous that your spectator won't stop early enough, then you can always dribble, ask them to say stop, and that's how you can split the two piles. But For now, let's just assume that we're gonna cut the deck,
And you let the spectator cut the deck.
and they can cut the deck wherever.
Yes. Just make sure you mention. Try to get it somewhere in half. All right. So from here, basically, you're gonna take the bottom half. So they cut the deck. Make sure you know where the bottom half is. Pay attention. All right. As a magician, you should know everything that's going on. From here, you can have the spectator select any card. Now, let's say they select this card right here. While they're looking at their card, so we're gonna look at this, the Joker. All right. What you're going to do is you're going to basically block push 7 cards, and you have to put their card in the 8th position.
So if you're using, let's say the 2 value cards you're using are 7s and 8s, you'll put it in the 8th position. If you're using a 5 and a 6, you'll put it in the 6th position.
So basically the higher number.
Right.
So I'm using 7 8, so I'm going to put their card in the 8th position. So once again, you block push, right? You just count off 7 cards, take their card back. Make sure you leave these cards, a little messy. So, it doesn't look too suspicious if you're just going like that, and it makes it sort of look like there's only like 3 cards there. So make sure you hold it a little messy, put their card back and then square these cards up.
Now, option number 2 there, okay? Nobody's going to question, where you're putting the card. Nobody knows what the trick is. Nobody knows that you're going to eventually, force a, 7 or an 8 on them and that their card's going to be in that position. They're not thinking that. They're just thinking it's going in a random spot. Option 2, actually, here's another way you can do this. So you have your half of the deck, right? What you can do is when you block push your 7 cards, so let's say you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards, right? You can actually do a Marlowe tilt with 7 cards. So all you would do there is basically hold a pinky break just like that, and you can kind of block push out a little bit if you want, and all you do is you kind of put it in, and know what the Marlowe tilt is, but you're doing it instead of with 1 card, you're doing it with multiple cards, so you can make it seem like you're just pushing it into the middle of the deck. So that's another option. You guys use whatever you want.
Okay, so basically after there, all right, you can have a spectator hold on to this pile, sit on it, put it in their pocket, but make sure they do not mix up the order. That is very important. So you can usually just put it back in the box or something, or just do what you have to do. Just have it set aside, right? And make sure the spectator has control of it. Has more of an effect. So,
I like to have them sit on it.
Yeah. Oh, that's a very interesting way. All right, so from here, you give the spectators the card, or you could do it yourself. And now, this is the pile with the 7s and 8s. Now, the top card is a random card, right? So, but the next card is a 7 or an 8. All right, and that goes through this pile. So, what you're going to do is, in your head, while the spectator is dealing down cards, make sure you say you can stop whenever you would want, whenever you would like. When they deal down a random card, you're going to go no. When they deal down a 7 or 8, you're going to say yes, no, yes. No, yes. Clearly, you do this in your head.
Right, so let's say they stop on a yes card. Robert, what are you going to do?
You're going to flip over the yes card. But let's say they stopped at a no card. So that's a 10. So that's a no now, right? You're going to say, all right, let's go ahead and see where you stopped us at, right? And you can flip over and show it was an 8.
So no matter what, you're forcing a 7 or you're forcing an 8.
So after you do that, right, make sure you're saying that in your head, no, yes, no, yes.
Right, so from here, basically, that's why you need the 16 cards, because if they go beyond 16 cards, you can no longer force a 7 or an 8, which is why you might consider dribbling the cards instead. Yeah.
It is a little safer. So from here, you have them stop, right? You show it's an 8. What you're going to do is you're going to say, before you do anything else, you're going to set this aside, and what you're going to do is you're going to show they could have stopped anywhere. So you're going to flip over this card. It's a random card. You can flip over this card. It's a random card. And you can even flip over the card under, which you know is a 7, because you set it up that way. So it seems
now,
like
this case, it's kind of weird. We got a 7, 8, 9, 10. But typically, get some different cards in there, and it looks really good.
It looks better.
Because, they truly feel they could have stopped anywhere, which I love.
So, usually it's not like that, but from here, right, you can give... What you're going to do is you have to notice if it's a 7 or an 8. Now, it's an 8. I put the card in the 8th position. So what you're going to do is you're going to count down
Well, you can actually have the spectator do this. In this case, you would tell them, deal down 8 cards, right?
Right. So let's say they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the 8th card, they can deal it down. And you can flip it over, show it was their card. Now, let's go ahead and say they stopped us at a 7, right? They stopped us at a 7 instead of an 8, right? So what you're going to do is, instead of putting down, 8 cards, what you're going to do is you're going to count down 7. You're going to go 1.
Well, remember,
2.
you want the spectator to do this.
Yes,
they get to do basically the entire trick. So, if they stop you at a 7, you just tell them to deal down 7 cards. If they stop you at an 8, you tell them to deal down 8 cards.
All right, so after they deal down their 7 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Instead of flipping over this card, you're actually going to flip over this card. So, bam, just like that.
Because their card's in the 8th position.
So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this card shuffler 99. Peace out.